This is lesson 133, Scale Drawings. A scale drawing of a map is used to show long distances in a small amount of space. 1 inch can represent many miles. So just to give you an example, if the scale was every inch is equal to 50 miles, then 2 inches would be 100 miles. But in this, they only said 1 inch equals 1 mile. If you don't have a ruler at home, your mom or dad may have a tape measure. So number 1, find the distance of the following. Use your ruler to measure. Always measure along the lines. Find the distance of the following. Post office to store. First I'm going to write the measurements on the scale drawing. Okay, so post office to store, 1 mile, because it's an inch, and 1 inch equals 1 mile. Ted's house to store, 1.5 inches plus 1 inch is 2.5 inches, but since each inch equals a mile, it's 2.5 miles. I'm going to pause it now, and you can pause it and try to do the rest, and then check your answers with me. So this is what you should have gotten, because from church to the post office is 1 3/4 plus 1 1/2 is 4 1/4 miles. From church to Ted's house is 1 3/4 plus 1 is 2 3/4 miles. From Bob's house to Ted's house is 1 mile. And from Ted's house to the ball field, here all the way to here, is 1.5 plus 1 1.5 is 4 miles. Okay, so in 2A, you had to find a common denominator, and it was 22. So that meant 3/11 became 6/22, and then you had to add, and you got 166 and 10/22, but then you had to reduce that to 166 and 5/11. In B, the common denominator was 10, and so you had 19 and 4/10, because 2/5 equals 4/10, minus 16 and 3/10 is 3 and 1/10. In D, you found a common denominator of 18. You found equivalent fractions, 1/3 to 6/18, 5/6 to 15/18, 4/9 to 8/18. You add them together, and you get 2016 and 29/6. Oops, that's an 18/18. But then that's an improper fraction, so you had to divide 29 by 18, which gave you 1 and 11/18. And you add your whole numbers, which gives you 2017 and 11/18. In E, your common denominator is 8, so you change 3/4 to 6/8, but then you can't subtract 6 from 3, so you had to borrow from your 9 and add 8/8, which is that 1 you borrowed from the 9, and then you get 8 and 11/8 minus 4 and 6/8, which is 4 and 5/8. Michelle bought 6 yards of cloth at $1.50 per foot. How much did the cloth cost? First, you need to change 6 yards to feet. Horse to fly, multiply. Your special number is 3. 6 times 3 equals 18. So 18. $1.50 times 18 feet is $27. Mr. Montoya drove for 7 hours at the average speed of 59 miles per hour. So you could add 59 7 times, or multiply 59 times 7, which is 413 miles. Work these fraction problems. 4/6 times 22 is 4/6 times 22 over 1. I canceled by dividing 2 into 6 and 2 into 22. 4 times 11 is 44. 3 times 1 is 3, but that's improper. So 44 divided by 3 is 14 2/3. I had to change this mixed number to an improper fraction, so I had 23 over 5 times 25 over 1, because any whole number over 1 is the same. Then I canceled. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. 23 times 5 is 115. 1 times 1 is 1. 115 over 1 is 115. 2 times 1 is 2, and 9 times 7 is 63. Here's what you should have gotten for matching and division. Divide and check. This is what you should have gotten. I didn't do the and check. And I crossed off the greens. Now solve these conversions. Okay, so first you need to get everything to gallons. So you need to change these quarts to gallons. And it's fly to horse divide, of course. Your special number is 4. 320 divided by 4 is 80. So it's 80 gallons minus 53 gallons equals 27 gallons. Now you need to get everything in months. So this is already months, but you have 3 years. You need to change that to months. Horse to fly, multiply. 12 is your special number. 12 times 3 is 36. Put that here. And 9 months plus 36 months is 45 months.